Am I live? I am? Okay.
You are
Good,
live, Mr. Broadhurst.
good evening, New Brighton families and community. Hopefully you are hearing me speak to you, and I'm not just speaking to myself looking at a computer screen. Welcome to the New Brighton Middle School Back to School Night for the 2021-22 school year. My name is Craig Broadhurst, and it's my pleasure to be the principal here at New Brighton Middle School. This is actually my 10th year at New Brighton Middle School, and I've spent quite a bit of time in this district. I actually started in 1988 up at Santa Cruz Gardens and spent 10 years teaching up at Santa Cruz Gardens. I spent 5 years at Soquel Elementary, a couple of years at Main Street, and back here for the last 10 years as the principal. And I feel very fortunate to have this position. I really enjoy working with your students, and I'm so glad that we have them back on campus. I was hoping that we would be able to have an in-person back to school night where I could see parents and families on campus. It's always a great night to see our community come out and wandering from classroom to classroom, a chance to meet old families and a chance to meet new families. I'm sorry that we can't do that. Perhaps when we have open house in the spring, we'll have the circumstances where we can have you on campus and we can continue to make those strong connections between home and school. So I apologize that we have to do this virtually, but those are the current conditions in which we're operating.
Can I just chime in, Mr. Broadhurst?
Absolutely, Miss Hadrius, go ahead.
Okay, I just want to say hello to everyone. Miss Hadrius, Christina Hadrius, Assistant Principal, welcome. Thank you so much for coming tonight. Like Mr. Broadhurst said, we were hoping it was going to be in person, but hopefully soon, we'll all be able to get the chance to be together and have a chat. But in the meantime, we are going to be virtual and we are streaming this YouTube live. And I do have the chat up. So if you have any questions, feel free. I see some people already asking questions in the chat, and I'll go ahead and monitor the chat as quickly as well as I can. We only have 12 minutes though left before we send you off to your teachers. So sorry for interrupting, Mr. Broadhurst. I just wanted to mention that.
Not a problem at all. Ms. Hadrius, feel free to chime in whenever you think it's necessary. And if we don't get a chance to answer questions that are being asked tonight, we can send out a document to parents answering those questions after this evening's presentation.
And if I can just address one question about the document. If there aren't links there could have been some issues with people putting the links on. So I'll go ahead and follow through, and we'll make sure though, if you do miss a teacher, we will get that information to you.
Okay, as I said earlier, we're extremely happy to have our students back on campus where they belong. It's been a difficult last 18 months or so, but seeing the students back on campus, that's the lifeblood of our schools. And I'm very happy that we are where we are currently. I've been in many classrooms over the last 10 or 12 days. I've seen students working in classrooms, students collaborating with other students, students interacting with each other in the classrooms, out on the fields, out on the blacktop during break. And so that's what they should have been doing, or they would have been doing for the last 18 months had we not had this pandemic interruption. And so it's great to have them back where they belong, learning in the classroom and making great memories and growing. We do have to be vigilant regarding COVID situation. And currently our students are wearing masks indoors. Many of them are choosing to wear them outdoors also. And we have had some positive cases. We have protocols in place to address that. And some of you will have already been contacted by us if we needed to do some testing here at school to make sure our students are safe. And while I'm on the topic of safety, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. It's really important to us that your students do feel safe here at school, because if students don't feel safe, it's very difficult for them to learn. And so it's very important to us that our students are safe. And if you feel there's a situation where your student feels unsafe, of course, we're asking, in our message to students, we're asking them to make sure they report that to somebody at home or somebody here at school. Please don't hesitate to contact myself or Ms. Hadris so we can follow up and address any issues where students are feeling unsafe. So moving on, tonight, you're going to get a chance to visit your students' teachers' classrooms, virtual classrooms anyway. And it's a chance for you to get to meet them, to learn a little bit about them in the short time they have. You'll also get a chance to look at some of the curricula that they'll be working on this year. They'll probably tell you how they manage their classroom. They'll probably tell you how to contact them. So please pay attention to that, because the stronger connection that you have with your child's teacher, the better your child will do. And oftentimes an email is the easiest way. That there's also voicemail, but please stay in contact with your child's teacher because it will benefit you and your child. And we want to create a strong bond between the home and the school, as I said before. It's not really you won't have time this evening to perhaps ask individual questions that relate to your child only. Tonight's sessions are more of an overview, but don't hesitate to reach out to your teacher if you need to talk to them specifically about your student. I'd like to point out that we often at the middle school level see less parental involvement than at the elementary. I was an elementary teacher for 15 years and very used to having lots of parent interactions in the classroom and in the school site. We're a little different right now in our COVID times about having parents on campus, but there are still ways to get involved. We do have the New Brighton Middle School Home and School Club. Their first meeting is coming up on September the 9th, and that's at 6 to 7:30 p.m. I will be sending information out to you about how you can be part of the New Brighton Home and School Club. They do wonderful things for our students. And in a nutshell, they raise money to provide some of the bells and whistles and enhance the students' education here at New Brighton Middle School. And all it takes is dedicated parents who want to do what's right for students, help raise funds to support your students' learning. We do have an English Learners Advisory Club. The first meeting for that is August 31st. That's next Tuesday. That's at 6 p.m. And that's primarily for families of students who are English language learners. And then we also have a school site council. School site council helps develop the school site plan, which is goals that the school wants to achieve. And we are meeting on the 14th of September. That'll be a 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock meeting. And again, I'll send out information about that. I want to talk a little bit about our New Brighton Way, which is, if you came from one of our feeder elementaries, all the elementaries have their own way. Ours is about being respectful, responsible, being safe, and being kind. Those are the 4 core traits that we like to emphasize here at New Brighton Middle School. And we want to make sure we're stressing positive behavior and those positive traits. I always say if our students are following the New Brighton Way, life is always a little bit easier. One of the ways we do that actually is we have what we call Viking vouchers. And I'm happy to say that I've seen quite a few at lunchtime. I monitor one of the lunch lines, and a Viking voucher is distributed from a teacher to a student if they're being exemplary in being responsible or respectful or safe and kind. And one of the ways children can redeem them is they can skip the line and come to the front if they are getting food. And that's quite a popular way to use your Viking voucher. So we like to emphasize positive behavior. We have a PBIS system of positive behavior interventions and supports, which we use to emphasize positive behaviors and also address behaviors that may need addressing through reflections and perhaps parent contacts or even an admin contact. We like to emphasize rewarding positive behavior, but also addressing behaviors that don't fall into that positive category. When you're meeting with your teacher tonight, I hope that they will get across to you the collaborative, engaging, and rigorous education that they try to provide, that they endeavor to provide for our students. And again, you're probably not going to have too many opportunities to ask questions this evening, but please make sure you follow up by contacting your teacher by email or voicemail. I talked a little bit about student safety. Again, it's very important to us that your student feels safe, because we can't help them learn, we can't help them grow if they're not feeling safe. Please contact us. We ask students to contact somebody in the office, one of their teachers, or somebody at home. And again, please make sure you reach out at your earliest convenience if you are feeling, or if your student is indicating they don't feel safe in any way. It's been a bit of a challenging start to the year with some of the staffing. We've had some staffing issues that we're working on solving, and we're very close to solving them all. So I appreciate your patience with that. And I just want to say, I'm very proud of our staff and our families and our community. We have many new students who came from districts other than ours. And I always like to check in with those students. And I've checked in with quite a few because I want to know what's their experience like at New Brighton, because the majority of students who come to us from an outside school district are often complimentary in their experience with other students at New Brighton Middle School, with the curricula, with the teachers and the adults who are on campus. And that's been my experience with parents also. If you're a new parent, I'd really be interested in your experience with our district, as well as parents who are returning, but especially the ones outside, because you have a comparison. And we want to make sure we're giving good customer service to you and giving your child a great education and helping them to make great memories. And I don't know if it's 6 o'clock. Miss Hadrius, were you able to answer questions?
I've been busy hopefully answering everybody's questions. If there was anything that I missed, feel free to call us or email us any questions you might have. I'd be happy to answer questions. It is 5:59. We do want you to be able to go over to your science teachers. There were some questions about sixth grade science. Sixth grade science, if you have a sixth grade science student, they will all be going in the Mr. Webb, Miss Calhoun link. So go ahead and you can join that link for science. So again, science is up first at 6 o'clock.
Okay, well, New Brighton families and community, it's my pleasure to be here for you. We are your school, and please reach out to us if there are any issues that you feel need our attention. And I hope to see you on campus at some point in the future. We're almost there with our students back, but we still have some work to do in terms of getting numbers down worldwide. And but I hope that we can get back to a more normal experience in the non too distant future. Thank you for coming here this evening, and have a wonderful visit with your child's teachers. And we'll see you sometime soon. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great night.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Okay, are we going to leave this meeting, Christina?
Yeah, I'm just ending it right now.
Oh, what about the questions? Did you get all the questions?